first of all, so happy for you two. Being here in Hawaii, doing songs for Moana 2. Like, have you thought about playing the lottery soon?
I think that would test our luck a little too much, I feel like.
Yeah, it's a dream for sure.
So I like throwing some curves at the beginning. Do you have a favorite Disneyland ride?
Okay, so I just went to Disneyland really for the first time. And we both loved, and I think I can speak for both of us, the Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah.
So
that was so fun. And apparently we got the best song.
Yeah. Did we? Iconic. Yeah, it was great.
I'm thinking, so this one is going to be the tough one. I'm going to read it. What was cooler, winning the Grammy for Best Musical Theater Album or getting the call to write songs for a Disney animated movie?
That's a mean question.
Yeah,
That's a mean question, but getting the call is...
I think so too.
It was insane.
Yeah, what was that actually, like, I am so curious. What is that like? Is it someone from Disney calling you? Is it an agent? Is it like, what is that first contact?
When you're in the industry, you take general meetings all the time, which are just kind of like a like get to know each other sort of thing. And we took a general with this guy, Tom McDougal at Disney. And he lightly mentioned at the end of the meeting saying, hey, I might have a project for you two.
Stay tuned. But like, you never really know if they mean what they say in those general meetings.
Like, if people have done half the things they promised us in LA meetings, we would be living on a beach somewhere in the middle of the Caribbean. I don't know.
But he followed through, and about a year later, we got an email that said, hey, they're making a Moana sequel. Would you like to speak with the creators and the creative team? And we were like, say less. And we Zoomed with them and had a conversation about Moana's journey in the second film, and it just felt like a really good fit. Emily was 20 at the time, and Moana is 19 in this film, so we just felt like we could really step into her shoes, and we told them that, and I think they took a chance on us and gave us the job.
Yeah, it's I know what you're talking about with general meetings. I have a lot of friends that have done them, and inevitably, like 99.9% of them don't do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just
so
like,
you can imagine our surprise. We're like, oh,
yeah,
cool,
sick.
So you obviously wrote a bunch of songs for this. Which is the song that you really can't wait for people to hear, or maybe they've already heard it?
Get Lost. I'm actually really excited about.
Yeah.
Also, I know they released Beyond, but they released the end credit version, and I'm really excited for them to hear the movie version.
It's magical.
Because I think it tugs a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. Before I forget, the Bridgerton, the musical soundtrack, if someone has actually never heard it before, what is the song you want them hearing? Like, what's the one they start with, or should they just push play at the beginning?
I honestly think you should just push play at the beginning, but Every inch.
Or Alone Together.
Okay.
Or Burn For You, because I feel like
everyone knows that one.
What is it actually like when you are sitting down to write something that you know is going to be in a movie like this? Is it something where you just have to like think about the song and forget about where it's going?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that creative process.
Yeah. I think we really just wanted to serve the story as well as we possibly could. Because, we don't want to stop, drop, and sing. We want to sing when words aren't enough, because that helps us move the story along in an emotional way.
Yeah, I think if you think too much about how many eyeballs are on it and who would be watching it, and it needs to be a hit, it needs to be blah, blah, whatever, you're going to drive yourself insane. And it kind of stops the creative process because all you're thinking about is like, well, people like this, well, people like that. You just got to write good music. And if everyone in the room feels good about it, then you can start to think about that.
Yeah.
Which is the song that actually went through the most revisions, maybe started one way and ended another way?
Can I Get a Chihu? Maui's song.
Sure.
It took a couple of swings at that song to get it right.
But even before we were taking swings, when it was still a TV show, we had a whole song written that was like, had already gone through all the revision processes and it was done. We were about to record it. And then the story kept evolving and changing as it does in animation.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we realized that it needed to be a different moment. That the whole MO of the song shifted. So then we're like, okay, start over. And then it took us a few tries.
From what I've understood, a lot of songs might have been recorded for when it was going to be a TV show, and they obviously did not get released. So is there going to be like an unreleased Moana soundtrack? Are there songs coming?
I mean, it's a little bit out of our hands, but there's one or two songs that we would love to see the light of day because they're near and dear to our heart.
Yeah, I'm getting the vibe that they're thinking. I mean, it's basically like, why wouldn't you release them?
Right. There's a sequence that's actually almost fully animated that is no longer in the movie. That's a song.
Yeah.
So they were maybe thinking
About releasing.
Can I ask what the song was?
It was called 2 Pieces of Me, and it was sort of
or
in
two
the,
pieces. You're not
2 pieces.
We didn't get that far.
but it was kind of in the place where Beyond is now. But ultimately the story had changed so much that it didn't really make sense anymore. So
Because the issue is like, she's like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And everyone's like, we know what she's going to do.
right, so
She's going to go.
What's the point of singing the song?
No, I completely get that. What ended up being like tougher? What actually surprised you about making like an animated show / movie? Because this is your first time on this experience, and I'm just curious what surprised you?
Just how much of a classroom life became. They would have these huge brain trust meetings after a screening, and we would sit there for like an hour and a half to 2 hours just talking about the story, putting it together, ripping it apart, and just like the learning process of seeing just how much everyone at Disney Animation cares about this process. It is truly sacred, and it was a dream to be a part of.
I think I wasn't expecting like the amount of layers that it takes. Like, I don't even have the words because it's still magic to me. It's like in the animation alone, it goes through like 50 different steps before it gets to the final product. And the same thing in music. And because it all has to kind of like crawl slowly together, you really get to pick apart the layers a bit. Instead of kind of like, okay, we're doing this step, we're doing the next step, and it's all kind of happening quickly, and you don't really have that much time to like go back and change and move around and this and that. But because like the steps are going so slowly, there's just a lot of moving around.
Yeah, it's crazy how animated movies are made. I got to stop. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck with the rest of your speed dating.